Welcome to our workshop for September 24, 2019. Teresa.
She's working on it.
Okay. Okay. First on the agenda is Tyrone A. Smith, recruiting assistant with the U.S. Census 2020. We'll present to the board the request assistance with filing both part-time and full-time position relevant to the upcoming Census 2020. About here?
Maybe not right now.
Ooh, good.
Okay.
He's not present or accounted for.
Make a motion.
Okay. We'll move into presentation of LMIG 2020 proposal by Dr. Keller.
Good morning. In front of you, each year we get a allotted allocation, as you're familiar, for resurfacing. We fall in the category of the 30% range because we did not pass a T-splosh. Those streets that you have on there, one is Grandview and the other are streets downtown Central. As you know, we're going to try to start making some improvements on the alleys and try to get some more businesses downtown. So that's where that little square is that you see on your map, and then Grandview. Hopefully, in the next couple months, when we reconcile the splosh money, we'll be looking to see where we're at financially, and we'll come back to you with some more streets to pave with our splashed money. But right now, this is just LMIG money for 2020, and all we're doing is making you aware of that. If you want to change it, you can. If not, I'll submit it electronically on GIOT's website, which that ought to be a challenge.
I don't have a problem with what you're trying to submit, but I drove down 14th Street.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to tell me. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Walker and I are going to look at some of those small side streets and see if we can't start knocking some of those out. I know we got a bunch of long streets too, but those short ones on 15, 16, all of those streets are getting to be like cobblestone.
Okay.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Okay.
Excuse me. All right, we'll get you to sign that then, okay?
Okay.
The county's still looking at doing a T-splosh in March.
Well, we better hurry up. They got to advertise.
Understand?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm next.
Oh.
I'm not going anywhere.
Doug, read the next one out. How about this now?
Yes, sir. Director of Public Works and Utilities Department, Dr. Brent Keller, will provide briefing on the status of the Heads Creek Reservoir Dam.
Okay. In April of this year, we had a 500-year storm event. We got 7 inches of rain. It hit the Heads Creek Reservoir in 3 hours. When the net result is we had a boil. The water came over the top of the spillway. It didn't top the dam, okay, but there was a significant amount of water. So what happened was, as you saw in the picture, it pushed up the concrete at the bottom of the spillway. When you have a Category 1 dam, you have to report to EPD any potential failure that you might have because of the consequences of downstream conditions, and it's in line with our emergency response plan. Pardon me. So when we got through, we brought in our engineer of record for our dam. Took a look at it. We met with with the Safe Dams, Georgia Safe Dams program, and they recommended over the next year and a half that a couple steps that we needed to take. One was a hydrologic assessment of the dam, because the dam was constructed in 1964. Things have changed from design parameters since that time. We did a hydrologic assessment of it, and sent it back to Safe Dams. Safe Dams says that it does not meet the criteria for new dams, and unfortunately the next step is we are doing a hydraulic assessment of 2 bridges below the dam that's being required, and we're looking excuse me, at the the potential design of a new spillway. We won't have to take the dam out of service, but we'll have to build a new spillway. The net result of that is going to be somewhere between $6 and $7 million to put that spillway back in. So what we're trying to do is work with EPD. That's going to take 18 months to design and do all that work. Where that money's going to come from, I'm looking with the engineers to see if we can get some FEMA money. But at the end of the day, my favorite saying is y'all would say, we're going to have to put in a new spillway on Heads Creek Dam. And it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 million.
So outside the box thought is we've got a 3.5 billion gallon reservoir down in Still Branch.
Usable water, yeah, 4.1 total, but 3.5. Where we don't right now, we're down 6 feet.
So we've talked about our current dam, our current lake is at about how many million gallons?
621 million gallons of water.
Million gallons of water. And I'm just throwing this out there as a thought. Paralleling a new water line from Still Branch back to Griffin, is that been considered in terms of cost analysis? We've got a withdrawal permit of $48 million potentially.
We looked at that before, and because there's no right-of-way, and Drew and I looked at it, we had 80 parcels of property that we touched when we built Still Branch existing. We don't have the luxury on the other side of the road. We put the line where we could. When we built and constructed Still Branch, there would be significant condemnation, and the cost would probably be almost in condemning the property as it would to construct the pipeline. There's some opportunities there to go another route, but I mean, the pipeline alone, when we built the one from Still Branch to the city at Chick-fil-A, was over $12 million.
Brett, I kind of missed that. I didn't quite understand. When you started out, you said, what did you say happened to?
We had a rain event, and it was huge, and Heads Creek has a huge drainage basin that comes in. All those creeks came in at one time. It topped the dam over the spillway, and there was so much water that it created a vortex at the bottom of the spillway where it goes into the creek. It pushed the bottom of the spillway up and broke it off. And then we had to go through the hurdles of, because of safe dams, to evaluate the spillway and the reservoir itself.
So back to my discussion about looking at the other water line. Besides this $6 million plus project, long term we're looking at a $30 million plus on rebuilding Harry Simmons.
Oh, more than that.
Or $40 million now.
Yeah.
Again, going back, we got a 3.5 billion gallon reservoir. If you and the Upson crew can kind of think outside the box, if we end up putting an emphasis of using Still Branch as our water provider in terms of doing everything and getting another water line, if not paralleling, but a different option, just as $6 million is a lot of money, plus the 40, so that's another $50 million, which basically is what it cost us to do Still Branch on a dam, on a lake that only holds 650 million gallons of water. And we've talked about dredging and the cost of doing all that. We may want to just look at...
Well, the challenge that I have with that, and you and I have had this conversation numerous times, by taking Harry Simmons and Heads Creek out of the formula, the redundancy of Still Branch went down, will put us in the same situation we did before we had Still Branch, and that was there was no water supply to the city. We have been down at Still Branch before, a month and a half, and went strictly to Heads Creek. I'm not even sure that EPD would even entertain any type of redundancy. One of the things that we have looked at, and we potentially can, we do have redundancy to pump 24 million gallons of water out of that facility if we had the pipeline with the volume. The second thing we would have to look at, and it would not only be a pipeline, and we did do the study because we have to be fiduciary with our facilities, is we're going to have to spend $3.5 to $4 million at Still Branch in order to have power, backup supply power down there. We are a single feed system off that substation, so we are looking at some of those issues right now like that, and it's about $4 million to put a support power, and we'll be glad to take a look at another line coming from there, but in my opinion, for what it's worth, it costs money to deal with Harry Simmons, but it also is when Still Branch goes down, you have obligations of long-term contracts. Those contracts go too long without water, you violated your contract, you won't have any wholesale customers. So I don't think it's prudent, in my opinion, to deal with Heads Creek as being eliminated out of the picture anytime soon.
I just want us to look at,
Sure.
we're talking about $50 million. Is it better for us to look at building a second plant there at Still Branch, paralleling, if you're talking about the redundancy of having it?
Yeah, we've got redundancy now. We have a DAF. We have 12 million.
Right, I understand
And
that.
if one of the DAFs go down, we flip over to the second DAF.
Okay, but if it's a power issue, trying to figure out, is there a Heads Creek Reservoir is going to have more than the $6 million spent on it
Yes.
in the future?
That'd be correct.
We need to see the big picture, not just in 2 years, 3 years, but where we got to go in the next 10 years, 20 years, and look at every option for the greater good of the community. And then we've got the Spalding County Water Authority contract out there. Not sure what they're going to do. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, go.
Ms. Ward, Mr. Smith is here now. Tyrone Smith.
Okay. Mr. Tyrone Smith, a recruiting assistant with the U.S. Census 2020, will present to the board and request assistance for filling both part-time and full-time positions relevant to the upcoming 2020 census.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tyrone Smith, and I am a recruiter with the United States Census. The Census is now hiring here in Spalding County, starting full-time and part-time at $15.50 an hour. Each county has different rates, but right now Spalding is at $15.50 an hour to include 58 cents per mile. I need your help. Right now, the quota that we have on Spalding County is 371, and we have 148 applicants already that have applied. So the help that I need is to get the word out that the United States Census is hiring in the county, period. We have put in place, i.e. social media and all of those type things, but as a recruiter, I've gone to the UGA Griffin, I've gone to your Southern Tech, I've come to you to let you know that the census is hiring and that we have jobs for all of your constituents who need full-time and part-time employment. At this point, do you have any questions for me?
How long? Okay. Just how long is the? How long is the entire census? The whole process.
Yes, I understand your question. As you well know, it is a temporary position, and it will go through to September of 2020.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have paper applications or a link for us to how to get your information out?
Yes. No, there are not paper applications. You're able to go to the website, and I have information for you. I can send it electronically, and I brought information with me. The website is 2020census.gov/jobs.
What are your minimum qualifications qualifications? It sounds like you're just about going to have to take anybody that applies.
That's almost the case.
We'll give you a drink.
But the qualifications, you must be 18 years of age, be a U.S. citizen, have a social security number, you must have an email address. I always say the unwritten rule is that you have to have transportation, because especially in my smaller counties, in my rural counties, there is no public transportation like it is in Clayton and Fulton. As a male born after December 31st, 1969 must have applied for selective service. And that's pretty much it. There's no education requirements. The joke that I always like to tell people is that can you read? And as long as you can read, we will train you to do what you need to do. The census has different phases. The first phase that we're hiring for now is, you may have seen it on the news, it's called address canvassing, in which we train individuals with the GPS to go into the neighborhood and confirm addresses. As you well know, April 1st, 2020 is Census Day, and all the census questionnaires will be in the home at that time. This is the first year that the census will allow you to go online and do the census online and do the application, or should I say, do the questionnaire online, which is a great thing. So it eliminates a lot of the next phase, which is to go into people's homes that don't send in the questionnaire, and that's a lot of people ask, do you go door to door? Not like it was, say, when I was a youngster, where the only way that we did the census was you had to go to the home and ask the questions. Now it's mailed out, and those who don't mail it out, we send our enumerators to that home to ask the questions. How many people live here? What are their names? What are their ages? So forth and so on.
Young adults like 19, 20 years old?
Yes, sir. The minimum.
That are students, say in college, so the part-time is flexible for them in terms of their...
You better believe it. Like I said, the minimum age is 18, so that it's a great thing for a lot of my teachers like the position, students in college, because as a part-time employee, you can set your hours, say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 12 or whatever the case may be. But keep in mind, the time is going back, and we don't want people in neighborhoods after dark. So we'll be doing the daylight hours.
Mr. Smith, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How's the pay rate established? I see on your website that our friends over in Fayette and Coweta make $1.50 more an hour. I'm just trying to determine how we're at 15.50 there at 17.
I've been trying to determine that ever since I've been a census employee. For example, Clayton County is starting people at 17. Fayette is starting at 17. Right here in Spalding is 15. Your neighbors, Lamar and other counties, most of them are at $14.50 an hour. So that is determined by the census. I would like to think it's based on population, but that's a speculation right now.
And they're using their own personal vehicle and own personal expenses to travel around the county, or?
You get mileage.
You get mileage plus the 15.
That's right.
Okay,
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
$15.50 per hour plus
Plus the
58 cents a mile.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. Thank you.
Okay, no, not a problem.
So if a person is hired in Spalding County, will that be their workplace, or
Okay.
is it a possibility they might have to go somewhere else?
Okay, excellent question. That's why they have recruiters like me, and I'm assigned to 24 different counties, and I go into counties to hire people to work in their community. When George Washington put this together in 1790, he said, I want my people to work in their community, so I hire people to work in their communities. So in the case of Griffin, we hire people in a Spalding, and they will work in Spalding. Okay.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Please forgive my tardiness. I did visit your police precinct this morning, and they say, no, Mr. Smith, you're in the wrong house. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. My dad jobs.
Okay, that's everything. Okay, next, consider executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session pursuant to OCGA Section 5014-3B, 1B, for the purpose of authorizing negotiation to purchase, dispose of, or lease property.
I have a first, a motion by Commissioner Holberg, second by Commissioner Brock. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 6-0.
I will go there and see. Pull out time. Of course they are. Yeah. But you know what?